Hey guys, and welcome back to Brainstem Studios. My name is Miss Joy, and I teach STEM to pre-K through 6th grade in Beaver County, Pennsylvania. Today we are going to use heat, and we're going to make a solar oven and make some fun snacks to eat, because we all like snacks, right? Okay, but before we do that, we have to talk about the 3 types of heat, okay? First of all, heat is the transfer of energy from one object to another. So if you have something hot and you put it close to the other one and it makes it hot, that's heat. You're transferring the energy from the hot thing to the cold thing to warm it up. There's 3 types. First one is conductive. And conductive, I need you to use your imagination, okay? Conductive, let's put our imagination on. Conductive is when something's in direct contact. So if I have a pan that's heating on the stove, we're not going to talk about the stove right now. We're going to talk about the pan. And I'm going to get my imaginary egg, and I'm going to crack it, and I'm going to put it in my pan. And as the pan gets hot, it heats the egg because the egg is touching the pan. Okay, so conductive is when it's directly in contact, and it's usually solids. Okay. The second one is a little harder, is convection, and the way I think of convection is it's when heat rises off of something. So, not always, sometimes it comes down from something. Like in my house, the basement is really chilly, and the attic is really hot, and that's convection because the cold air is rising as it heats, it rises up, and it goes to the attic. And that's convection, when something gets hot and it rises up. Okay, the third is radiant. And radiant is when something else is hot nearby and the waves travel and heat something else. My favorite example of this is the sun, because it heats us up usually. Here in the Pittsburgh area, it doesn't always shine, but when it does shine, it is really warm, and you can feel the heat coming even though it's not touching you. So conductive is when things are directly in contact with each other and they heat, and it's usually solids. Convection is when heat rises off of something or moves around, and radiant is when it is transferred from something to something else without ever touching it, by traveling in waves. Let's pretend we're at a bonfire and there's a big fire there, and the wood we've caught it on fire, and of course we have our stick with our marshmallow on it, right? Okay. First of all, convection heating, I'm not touching it, the heat is rising up, and I can warm my hands on it from convection because the heat is rising up to warm my hands. Now it's also rising up to heat my marshmallow, and it's making it maybe a little brown, and that's wonderful. So the heat rising up is convection. It's also radiant because the heat is not directly touching the marshmallow, it's heating from the fire to the marshmallow. And then the conductive would be if I was using whatever I had my marshmallow stuck on, so that whatever item it is, it's getting hot. I like to use those little metal skewers, like a hanger thing, and the metal gets hot and it heats the marshmallow from the inside and makes it all gooey. Sometimes makes it fall off, which is not good, because then you gotta start over. But so the heat rising up is convection. The heat heating the marshmallow without touching it is radiant, and the heat that is coming off of whatever I have my marshmallow on is conductive. Okay, so we're going to make the solar oven, and then we're going to take Brainstem outside, and we're going to make some fun snacks. So I'm going to put the supply list up. We're going to get your supplies. Okay, you ready to make your solar oven? So I have a box. Any box will do. It does probably need to be about this big or bigger. A shoebox works. I made another one with a cereal box that you'll see later. But you're gonna start, and you may need an adult's help. and you're going to cut along the edge. And I did not cut right up to the edge. I just left a little space. And then I'm going to cut this way. And then I'm going to cut this way so that I make a little door. Before I did this, I also put tape around it just to hold it so it doesn't come open. So I made a little door. And I'm going to put, I already pre-cut this. I'm going to put this in the bottom of it because black absorbs heat really well. So that's what I want in the bottom of it. And then I'm going to get foil. And you see what I have here. I have my black paper and I have my lid. And I'm going to wrap the foil around the top. And then I would cut it down in size a little bit and then tape it on so that this can reflect the sun. It can heat the black paper and that will cook our food. So very simple. Once I put the food in there, I'm going to take some saran wrap and put it over the top. So while it's cooking outside, it won't get any kind of weird bugs in it. You don't want any bugs. And then I have a straw that is, I can prop it open to different heights because depending on where the sun is, will depend on where we put our lid. So we could move it out. May need to put a little piece of tape on there to hold it. So that is the solar oven. It's very quick and simple. Now I'll show you my other one that I made that I'm actually going to use today because I decorated it all pretty. And then I have it where it opens up. And I have my foil on the inside, and I'm going to put my food in here. I wanted it to get a little bigger than my other box so that I could get bigger food in there. Okay, so now I'm going to go get some food ready, and we're going to make some snacks. I'm going to make, I have a tortilla with some cheese, so I'm going to make a little quesadilla. For my first snack, and then I'm going to see if I can make a s'more in my solar oven. Remember that we're using mostly radiant heat because the sunlight is radiant heat and it's going to come down and hit this, but it's also going to heat this black paper, which is conductive heat, and that black paper will heat the food. So our main source is radiant, but then we'll have conductive as well. Okay? So next time I see you, I'll have some food stuff put together and I will be outside. I hope the sun is shining because you kind of need sun to do radiant heat for this experiment. Hey guys, so here we are outside of Brainstem Studios and I have my solar oven. I hope you had time to decorate your solar oven and make it all pretty. And I have the black paper in the bottom. What's the black paper for? It's to absorb some heat. And then the foil's going to reflect it down in there. I made a yummy quesadilla. And I put some cheese on a tortilla. So I'm going to make some lunch. And you need one more thing. I have an extra piece of foil that I'm going to put down here underneath my tortilla so that it doesn't get the black paper all greasy. I'm going to set that in there. Now you want to look at the angle of the sun, and my sun's just kind of right above me. And when you see the reflection down in your box on your food, then that's where you want it to be. So I'm going to do one thing first. I'm going to get the saran wrap, and I'm going to put a piece of saran wrap over the top. My stuff's blowing away. And so that the bugs don't get my lunch. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it on there as best I can. And I don't know, you can see my assistant. Come here, Tux. Now say hi to the camera. Oh, he's not looking. Okay, now go so you can finish our experiment. Okay, so, and then I have my straw. And I want to get a little piece of tape. Actually gonna tape down my saran wrap so it doesn't blow away. And then I'm going to adjust the lid so that the sun is reflecting down in there good. And I want to tape that in place so it'll stay where it's supposed to. So I'm going to leave this, I'm guessing, probably 10-15 minutes, maybe a little more depending on how warm it is and your angle of the sun. And we're going to get that radiant heat from the sun to come down and cook our lunch. So I'm going to press pause and wait for my lunch. And then when we come back, we're going to make some dessert. Okay? I'll see you in just a little bit. Okay, here we are. And it's been probably 15-20 minutes. And I'm going to get my quesadilla out. And look at that. That radiant heating coming down. Warmed up the foil and the black paper. And it melted my cheese. And now I have a delicious cheesy lunch. Now, I'm gonna finish this later, so I'm gonna set it aside right now, and we're gonna start our dessert, so it'll be ready when it's time for dessert. So, I have the stuff to make a s'more. I'm gonna break it in half. I have my chocolate on there. I have my marshmallow on there. And I'm gonna put in my oven. And I could actually fit a few in here. I took the lid off so it can heat the marshmallow and the chocolate first. And I cover it up. And I'm gonna wait for that. Now what kind of heat are we working with right now? We have radiant heating coming from the sun. And then we also have conductive heating because the foil's getting hot and the food is touching the foil. So I'm gonna wait another 15-20 minutes and I'll be back to taste my s'more. Hey, so I think my s'more is ready. This is what I've been waiting for. Using the radiant heating from the sun to make me a s'more. And look at that. The marshmallow's all flattened down. And I'm going to put my top on. And then the best part of this lesson is eating it. So good. You can see the chocolate's melted too. Okay, so what were our 3 types of heating? We have radiant, which we use because the sun was coming down. But radiant can be from lights, or it's usually it doesn't touch it. It comes down and it heats it, or it comes from around it. Conductive is when the food is usually a solid and it's usually touching the heat source. So like the foil that got hot from the radiant heating, it conductive heated the s'more. And last is convection, and that's usually when air, well that's not usually, it's when air heats up and it starts moving around. So the molecules move around, kind of like how your attic gets hot and the cold air moves up as it warms, and then it comes back around, warms up again, and goes back up. Kind of like if you were standing by a fire warming your hands. The air would push the heat up to you. Okay, so that's it for today. I probably am going to take a break for a couple of months because you guys have just finished school, which I'm very excited about for you. And it's summertime and there's so many things to do outside. Remember to do STEM everywhere. Observe and explore and just have fun with it and learn. I'll see you later.